Kogi State Anglican Diocese, Lokoja, has convened the first session of its 11th Synod, calling for a renewed relationship with God and greater emphasis on societal peace. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo, represented by his deputy, Salifu, alongside top government officials, joined the faithful at the Emmanuel Anglican Church for the opening. The theme of the event, Peace with God, the victory of the Atonement, was well captured by our reporter.
It was a significant moment for the Anglican faithful as the diocese flags off the first session of its 11th Synod, focused on restoring true peace through reconciliation with God. Themed Peace with God, the Victory of the Atonement, the Synod brought together top government officials and religious leaders across the state. In his address, Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo, represented by his deputy Salifu, emphasized the urgent need for peace-building efforts, both within the church and across the wider society, stressing that sustainable development can only strive where peace, unity, and faith are preserved.
He appreciates the partnership that has existed between the church, especially the Anglican Church, under the leadership of our Father, His Grace, Father Egbunu, that he has been so comfortable and at peace each time he sees your message or messages. He wants the partnership to continue. He loves to collaborate and continue supporting this diocese, come rain, come shine. But the charge we are giving you is, as a Christian or a body of Christians, that we are gathered here to deliberate on issues as it affects the life pattern of the church and the welfare of the workers. We must also take into cognizance the unity of the church, the unity of the state, and the unity of the family too. Because where there is unity, development is assured. So we are charging you to also preach unity across board. If you are from West, you are from Central, you are from the eastern part of the state, all of us are one. Kogi remain one. The two rivers that you see them joining together here in Kogi State is for a reason. It's for us to unite ourselves, forget about your tribe, forget about your geographical location, forget about sentiment. Let us preach unity so that we can attain development across board.
Also speaking at the event, Commissioner for Education, Weme Jones, highlighted the church's critical role in molding responsible citizens through quality education and moral instruction, promising more collaboration between the Ministry of Education and the church.
When a community or a mission like the Anglican Communion starts a school, it gets to a point where government will see the need to grant aid. Grant aiding does not take ownership of that school away from the original proprietors. The state government came up with the policy of school adoption and mentorship, where we invite corporate bodies and individuals who have means to support the school system, because the government alone cannot singly fund schools and fund schools appropriately. Let me say, sir, that the Kogi State government currently allocates 30% of the budget of the state to education. That is still not enough. It is because of that allocation that we were able to start and run and fund two universities at the same time. The university in Osara and the KSU in Kapa, in addition to the one we have in Naija. So Kogi State is currently running 3 universities. And you observe that we are building a number of new schools. We are also renovating. And what we are doing next is a number of renovations. But even in spite of all the 30% that we have allocated to education, we are not able to fund, to do everything that we ordinarily would have wanted to do. So because of that, we invited private partnership to come and work with us. If there's any of you whose child is in any public school, including Canada Memorial College, whose child was charged or asked to pay for WAEC, whose child is asked to pay for JAMB or NAPTEP or common entrance for primary school or first school living certificate, that person has defrauded your child. All those monies were paid for by government under Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo.
Delivering a Synod charge, the Archbishop of Lokoja Diocese, the Most Reverend Emmanuel Egbunu, emphasized the significance of Christ's atonement as the ultimate source of peace for humanity. He urged Christians to embrace the victory of the cross, not just as a belief, but as a way of life that promotes peace, unity, forgiveness, and social harmony.
The main focus of the Synod is peace with God. We are doing everything to have peace with ourselves, nations, communities, and we cannot forget that the most important one is peace with God. And once we have peace with God, it regulates every other form of peace. And that is the most important. Indeed, that is what you can take out of life, peace with God. Outside peace with God, I'm afraid to say everything else can't last.
He also called on the government to look into the issues of insecurity, encouraging Nigerians to turn to God to heal the land.
Whatever you see of Lokoja today, the story is incomplete without the input of the Anglican Church. But even from the creation of Kogi State, not only have we educated people through our mission schools, we released our facilities to house, for instance, the Teaching Service Commission, and we have always been collaborators in progress, partners in progress. This is not the Nigeria of our dreams, and we need our political leaders to be God-fearing, because the way some of them talk is as if God is now fairy tale. And if we don't fear God, then we are likely to be open to the consequences of disregarding God, and that's not what we pray for. We pray for a political class that fears God enough to resist evil and not defend or justify crime, so that God will heal our land. What we're talking about, insecurity, of course, we're not going into the blame game, but surely it is a consequence of our negligence of godly principles. And we believe that if we return to God, He will heal our land.
Speaking at the event, the co-chairman of the Kogi State Inter-Religious Council, Ambassador Usman Bello, stressed the need for religious tolerance as a foundation for a peaceful society.
Both Muslims and Christians working together as brothers and sisters, and that's what I have been promoting. So that I'm here today is not a surprise. This is exactly what I encourage. Whatever, anything, anytime, my Christian brothers are doing anything, I'll be there. Whenever I'm doing anything, I invite them. Those who share my principles, join us. I believe in peaceful coexistence of both Muslims and Christians. Principally, even to promote peace, I have always told people that if 80% of the people of Kogi State are either Christians or Muslims, and if these two organizations are working together, there will be peace. And that's why I'm encouraging the coming together of our Christian brothers, our Muslim brothers, working as partners, so that we can, by that demonstration, promote peace. Peace that will bring development into this state.
Members of the congregation expressed optimism that Synod's focus on peace will bring lasting impact not only to the church, but to the broader Kogi community. They also called on the government to intervene in issues affecting the people and the country at large.
Synod is a gathering of the bishop, the house of clergy, and house of laity. It's a period we take stock of activities. I want to appreciate the governor, the chief servant, Emmanuel Ododo. He's doing a lot so far. You know, there was a threat in the western part of the state, and people were sent there. And we are praying that God will help him with his mind to help us in this state. The issue of security is national, and I pray that God will appeal to the hearts of these wicked people who are dastardly in the country, and God will raise their mind, and we shall go back to their old ways.
The major moral takeaway is having peace, even in the midst of storms of life and the home. You said as a mother, just knowing that Christ is my peace, and that no matter what, good or bad, that I'll continue to enjoy his peace. For parents, first and foremost, the place of prayer. Okay? We must continue to pray for our children, because prayer changes a lot of things. A difficult situation is always made easy when we commit it to God in prayer. Then we must continue to engage our children in discussions. We must talk with them, bring out these issues that we think is not working well, and guide them. We must guide them appropriately.
As government, we urge that they do the needful. Remember that even in the early days in the Bible, there were soldiers, there were security men. You remember somebody cut off the ear of somebody when he felt they were embarrassing Jesus. That is a security man. But you see, he was alive to his duty. But today, our security men should live up to what oath they have taken to protect the country. Then when we back it up with prayer, we shall go far.
The Synod continues with preliminary session, special services, and outreach programs, all reinforcing the diocese's commitment to faith, education, and societal transformation. Report files by Yusuf for MLC TV.